which takes me to the next one, which most people have probably heard of, but I have to say I do use it. I think it's a very high quality tool, which is Grammarly. I think most people have heard of it. They advertise a ton everywhere, but it basically helps you compose more clear, mistake-free writing. Again, it uses like AI. It's a writing assistant. Fun fact, I'm not great at grammar. So this is huge to just be another set of eyes on top of just like a basic spell check, particularly in emails. So I think this is just like a good way to, my favorite thing about it is it makes emails and writing more concise. It cuts out all of those like fluffy filler words that we kind of just put in. So yeah, have you used it before?
Oh, absolutely. I use it religiously. I think whenever I write a bit of text, the first thing I'll do is copy and paste a paragraph into Grammarly, and then immediately, I think, because also the way the tool is designed is when you're writing something, say Gmail or whatever, you're distracted by a bunch of UI around it. Grammarly cuts everything out, and it's just a plain screen, and so your focus on the text changes as well. So you start noticing your own errors, just like in as well. Yeah, no, I absolutely love it as a tool. Especially like I have a tendency to write what they call passively, and so that's just been educated by that, and like better ways of just like making things simple and straight and direct.
Yeah, I think email is an obvious one where people use it. I use it a lot for Medium posts.
Yes,
I'm really trying to just kind of hammer stuff out and get stuff like a draft done. It's basically, when like this is like dating myself a little bit, but you remember when you used to sell like a version of a document to someone and they would like kind of mark it up and then send it back, like before pre-Google Docs. So it basically is just giving you another set of eyes to make sure that what you're writing is clear and you don't have any major errors. Because I do think that like good writing is something that I've been trying to personally get better at, and I think it matters a lot. When you read a really good Medium post, you're like, wow, that was like concise. The messaging was clear. It only took me 5 minutes to read it. And the person comes across looking with like a ton of credibility. So that's just something that I'm always like striving for. So I think Grammarly helps you get there. Obviously, if you work for Grammarly and you haven't hit us up for an ad sponsorship, like we'd love to talk about this in every episode moving forward. So if you're listening and you're work for Grammarly, send us an email. We'd love to collaborate.
It's a great tool. We'll have a link in the description anyway, because for all of these tools. But I really like it. It's handy. And again, just reiterating what you said, like if you read a blog post and there's a few words that's completely out or something's off, you're immediately reminded that you're reading something, and it distracts you quite a lot. And I, having mentioned this many times before, being dyslexic, that's one thing which I struggle with. Another tool that I used to use quite a bit is on macOS, you have something called universal controls, where you can actually get the Mac to read the text back to you. I find that as a tool quite useful as well. So then, because having it read to you allows you to hear, to see if it makes sense as a sentence, because obviously it will pause at full stops and whatever, or periods, whatever. So that's also really useful. I think if they were to combine a speaking element, I'm not sure if they do, then at least you can hear it a few times to see if it actually makes sense in a flow, because that's really important. But yeah, no, I really like Grammarly.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Design Huddle. The opinions expressed are solely our own and do not express the views or opinions of our employer.